Hey everyone, this is Betsy. Thank you so much for joining in to learn something new. In this video, we're going to cover YouTube, specifically playing videos from the YouTube app on your iPad. Many of you have been asking me to cover some useful tips and tricks on how to navigate your way around the app, particularly because playing movies on your iPad is a little different than on a phone, let's say. The screen is a different size, different orientation sometimes. Your iPad is sitting in a case on its side, and it's a more pleasurable viewing experience that way. And it just changes the look of the screen enough that it is difficult to find how to for instance, minimize the movie so that you can go search for something else. And we're going to cover some of the other tips that I have in my other YouTube video about playing YouTube videos on a computer. So look for that on my channel. Some of the useful tips are how to subscribe, how to watch later, how to turn on closed captioning, and some other settings that you might be interested in. So get out your iPad, and you could certainly watch this on your phone and follow along on your iPad. So you ready? Let's go take a look. Come on into my classroom. Let's start from the Facebook app, which I have up on the screen. If you are on your iPad, open up Facebook and orient yourself to a YouTube link. That would be, for instance, on my Facebook page. You could go to PC Mac Technology, or if you're friends with me, you can bring up my page. You can search for my name, and this post is public. If you tap on the YouTube link, the YouTube video starts playing. It is muted for you for your convenience, but I want you to look up here in the top right corner. It says Open App. So you see Facebook may not have positioned you in the app right away. You do have to tap on Open App in order to go from leave Facebook and go over to YouTube. Hi everyone, this is Betsy with PC Mac. Now the video starts playing. I'm going to tap lightly on the screen and then hit pause, just so that that's not playing while we're watching this instructional tutorial. Some of the buttons that come up here are very helpful to you. First of all, it tells you how many seconds in you are, as opposed to how many minutes. And some YouTube videos are over an hour long, so that'll tell you the length of the video. And then in the far right corner is the button with the four corners, and we saw that in my other video on how to watch YouTube from a computer. When you tap that button, it puts you in full screen. Very helpful, so that this video plays without any bars or menus open. If you Let me make sure it gets it on the screen. If you now look in the bottom right corner, that button has changed shape, and it now has inverted corners. So if you tap there, it brings you back to where you were. So that's a nice way to go from full screen back to a regular screen. And then once you get this regular screen viewer, notice there is this little tiny down arrow in the upper right corner. That's what you're going to use to minimize the video. When you tap there, I think my finger just hit something. When you tap there, you see that? The video minimizes into the bottom right corner. You can even do that while it's playing. You should try that on your own. But see, now you're back to the main screen, and in the upper right corner, there's your magnifying glass for search. That's where we're going to go next. I'm going to show you how you can research and find some of your most favorite topics on YouTube. Okay, so once you have the video minimized in the bottom right corner, and once again, how do we do that? Once it's playing, you're going to look in the top left corner. There it is, this tiny down pointing arrow. This is the center. If you look up here in the top left corner, there's a little tiny down pointing arrow. You're going to go ahead and tap that, and the video minimizes in the bottom right corner. You can even you can even play it. So if you're playing the video,
thank you so much for joining in.
That's me.
Something new.
And then tap
in this video,
the arrow in the top left corner.
How to use your Mac.
So again, we're going to go up here in the top left corner.
In particular, it's called the Mac Finder.
You can minimize it.
I will be demonstrating. Hi everyone, this is Betsy with PC
Here it goes.
Mac.
And in the bottom right corner,
to learn something new.
It's still playing. So you can minimize it, still playing, and then look up here. The white bar in the top right and the top of the screen is a search bar. I was just searching for something. So let me just pause my video so that it's not talking over me, which is those two little lines in the center. When you lightly tap the screen, those two little lines in the center, pause it. So we're going to minimize with that little down pointing arrow. There it goes. And then while that's minimized, you're going to look up at the top of the screen. I was just searching for something, so let me back you out because your screen probably looks like this. You get to the home screen, and notice in the upper right corner there is a magnifying glass. That's your search button. So now you're on the home screen. YouTube is going to give you recommended videos. It's going to give you simple topics. It's going to, based on what you maybe look at, something that's been recently loaded. So you could certainly scroll this first screen. But if you want to get to something in particular, you're going to tap on the magnifying glass in the upper right corner. And then you're going to type what you're looking for. So, for instance, I'm going to use PC Mac Technology Services as our main search criteria. And you see there is a video available on how to create a folder. And it either is going to give you a search result based on something you've searched recently, or you could just put in the search criteria, and then in your keyboard is a search button. But if you see something in the list, go ahead and tap that you want to go to. And it brings up videos that pertain to your search criteria. And then you can go right to that video by tapping the icon, the thumbnail icon for it. You can also tap the title, and then it comes up. Now you're back to the player window. The video is playing. This video starts with a white screen, so it's kind of hard to differentiate it in this tutorial, but there it goes. You can lightly tap, and then you're going to tap those two lines in the middle to pause. I'm just going to do that now again, just for the sake of this tutorial. It's much easier. There's our full screen button in the bottom right corner, but let's look now below the player window. You've got some buttons here. You could certainly like the video. I would particularly like that. You could share this video. When you tap there, you get this little pop-up window at the bottom. Okay, so there it is. I just needed to darken the screen a little bit. This little pop-up window appears when you tap share. And this gives you the ability to either copy the link so that you could maybe go back to a different app and paste the link. Maybe you're going to paste it into a Facebook post. It lets you email this video to someone that's in your contacts. You could certainly text the video. Very helpful, and the YouTube link comes up. Please try those. Of course, for a PC Mac video, I would certainly love it if you would share it with others who could use this type of instruction. There is a More button. When you tap on More, it just opens up the window. Based on your settings on your device, there are other areas, other apps that you could put information about this video. The Reminders app can take it. You can add a note about it. And then your Safari does have a reading list. That will be a future video that I will do, how to use the reading list. Very helpful. So for now, let's say we were going to pick mail, and then your email comes up where you can tap on the to, and you would put in the recipient, and then it puts in the title of the YouTube video. Now let's move that up a little bit. There you go. And then you can type something to the person, check this out. And then send it, as usual, in the upper right corner. Now you've just shared this video with someone else. At the top of the player window are these buttons. This button we talked about in my other video about playing YouTube from a computer. This is the save button. When you tap that from your iPad, it automatically saves it to the Watch Later playlist. If you want to change the playlist, you could certainly do that. Why would you need a playlist? Well, some people like to put their favorite YouTube videos in a list and then bring up the list and click play, tap play. And then all the videos play one after the other. You could certainly do that with music or dance. Make your own little exercise dance routine in your own home by putting videos into a playlist and then clicking play. So that's what the save button is for. Here's the curved arrow. That is share again. You can see down below that same box opened up. The next button is for casting this to another device in the house. So you don't want to watch it on your YouTube, you don't want to watch it on your iPad, but you want to watch it on your television, you can cast it. And the final button, these stacked dots, these are the same settings we saw on the computer. So there is a button on the computer for the same thing where you can turn on closed captioning. So you could say captions on by tapping English, and then when you play the video again, you will see captions. Should I hit play? There we go. There you see the captions come up at the bottom.
So that you don't miss out on any of these upcoming topics.
You don't see the controls while the video is playing, so go ahead and lightly tap it. Tap the three dots, and then you can turn off closed captioning if you don't need that. You don't see the controls while it's playing. That's often what throws people who are using YouTube for the first time. So you lightly tap, and then you hit the pause. These other arrows, those are for advancing to the next video in the playlist. If you don't have a playlist, then it uses this right sidebar. If there are like this, there are multiple videos that came up in the right sidebar. So look, if we keep going, we're going to look 35 cement ideas that are so easy. That's what that video is about. Can't wait to get to that. And then finally, under the player window is the title. How many subscribers? What does that mean, subscribers? Well, if you look to the right, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. And when you do, and you tap the bell, you are sent all the notifications from the channel. It's very helpful. If you, over time, you might have multiple channels, mine included, that you're interested in, and you don't have to keep checking them every day to see if there's something new. When you subscribe, an email is sent to you. Which email? Well, this is your Google account. So when you go to subscribe, if you're not signed in, it asks you for that account. And then you get an email when the channel has posted a new video. It's very helpful, and use it all the time for other channels that I follow. Over here, it shows you how many views on the video. And so let's go ahead and minimize again. See, the video is down here in the bottom right corner, and you're going to use your search bar. Now you see the previous search was there, so there was an X in the upper right corner that we use to clear out that previous search, and then there is a left-hand arrow. So when you tap the left pointing arrow, it brings you back a page to the searches that you conducted. The left pointing arrow until you're back at home. So once at home, I wanted you to notice at the bottom of the screen, there are 5 buttons. We are at home. You see that? So it gives you that little red coloring to indicate you're on the home page. You can go to what's trending on YouTube just by tapping there. It'll bring up videos that are trending if you're interested in that. The next button are your subscriptions. So if you have subscribed to a channel, you could just go there and browse. You don't have to wait for the email to come, but you do have to subscribe in order for the video to be brought here. The inbox, those are going to be, like it says, your notifications. I'm showing you an account that I use only for training. So I use this inbox quite a bit. If you comment on a YouTube and then the person from the YouTube channel replies to you, that reply would be here. Or if it's a community on YouTube, so if other people have answered your question, you'll find the answer here. And then finally, your library. Your library, which is the button in the far right of those 5, brings up this left sidebar. You see how it gives you history? So if you're like, gee, I watched something yesterday and I really need to go back to it, you can click on history and you can see what you've watched. You can go to My Videos. These are the things that you have contributed to your own YouTube channel. Yes, you do have a YouTube channel. If you have a Google account, you have your own. You can see any purchases you've made. And then there it is, the Watch Later list. So when you tap that Save button, the videos come here. So that concludes today's video on these tips and tricks on how to watch YouTube from your iPad. From the iPad app. Let me know if you have any questions by leaving a comment.
Thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to click subscribe down below and click the bell, and you'll be notified the next time a video is uploaded. You'll get an email and you'll be able to click the link from there. Also, if you have any questions, leave a comment. And who knows, I might cover that in the next video. So thanks again for joining in, and we'll see you at the next class.